What's up everyone, my name is Josh and this is Josh Unboxed, and welcome back to the Daily Grind, a video series in which I talk about particular cards, plays, strategy, news, and how it affects the overall sports card market. In other words, I'm just trying to find a way to help us navigate through the craziness that is the sports card world today, as well as to help us make much more sound purchasing and selling decisions. And today, I just want to talk about regret. Sports card regret, as I like to call it. Not everything's gonna pan out. We're gonna make mistakes in this game, and that's okay. And it's more about how do you deal with it. Whether you bought in at a card at its peak or close to its peak, regret happens. Whether you sell a card too soon and it explodes in value, regret happens. Whether you buy into the wrong player and it just doesn't pan out, regret happens. It's difficult to bat 1,000. We all make speculation plays. We all decide to buy into a certain card for whatever reasons we have, but there's going to be times when it doesn't pan out. We're going to decide to sell at a certain time when later on you see the value increase 5 times. It happens unless you're truly collecting and buying what you like, or you're putting your money into GOATs, Hall of Famers, blue chippers, guys that will only appreciate over time with no intention of selling, then I don't think you'll ever lose. If you're a collector and just collecting what you like, you'll never lose. You're buying the cards that you like and things that you enjoy what you have, and the monetary value of that particular object does not matter. But for some of us, we are jumping into the sports card market as a vehicle to kind of either one, try to make some money off of it, or trying to collect and invest at the same time. Sports card collector and investor. Collector first, investor second. But the investing part of it is the part where all these types of speculations and jumping onto plays, catching things before they increase in value, that's the part where mistakes and regrets will happen. On the pure collecting side of it, not really. But how do you live with it though? Like if you're onto this investing side of it, or trying to use sports cards as another vehicle of investment, or trying to make some money off of it, how do you deal with the regret that happens when you sell a card too early, or when you make a mistake and you buy into the wrong person? How do you live with it? It's as easy as saying just take the L and then move forward, but because it's such an emotional thing that sometimes it's just hard. We like to look back at things. We like to think about what happened. I mean, could have, would have, should have, right? Oh, I should have bought in more of those cards because I had a great feeling that card was going to blow up. I should have bought more. Or man, I shouldn't have sold it that soon. Or man, I could have bought this instead of that. Or those are the things that tend to happen in our mind. That's what we kind of struggle with at times. And to give you guys perspective, I've made mistakes. I've made a bunch of mistakes when I first jumped back into this hobby. To give you a little background on myself, back in the 90s, I collected basketball cards, strictly basketball cards, and I collected Penny Hardaway over Michael Jordan, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people did that too. So any Michael Jordan card I had, I would trade it for Penny Hardaway cards because I loved Penny Hardaway. I collected all the way up until 1997, 98, and then I stopped. And then I jumped back on a little bit before my son was born. My son was born in 2013, but that's when I kind of went full force with collecting for a brief year, 2 years. What got me back into it was watching the NBA playoffs. I was watching the Heat versus the Pacers. Pacers were giving LeBron James and D-Wade and Bosh a run for their money, and I was watching Paul George, and I was like, man, I love this kid. And he grew up where I grew up, from Palmdale, so I was like, I can really get behind him. I would like to get some of his cards. So I started buying cards again, and that's what drew me back into the hobby for that brief moment. But fast forward to about a year ago, and this is one of my biggest mistakes that I've made, is that when I collected back then in 2013, I was buying Prism, I was buying first year select. I had a bunch of second year Prism, a bunch of first year select. Back then, the biggest chase cards were the auto and jersey cards of the legends, the greats, the rookies. Those were the big cards to chase, not these base cards. So all the base cards that I had, I actually just put into one of those 5-row shoe boxes. Fast forward to about a year ago when my family and I decided to move to a new house. I had these cards sitting up in a closet in that shoebox. And I was looking at all this stuff and like, man, I really don't want to carry all this crap back to wherever we're moving to. So I threw them away. I threw away that 5-row shoebox of who knows what was in there. But before I did, I was able to salvage something. So before I threw it away, I was flipping through it. I was able to save my Giannis Prism rookie, Damian Lillard Prism rookie, Select rookie, a couple of Kobe's, Bradley Beal rookies, Anthony Davis rookies. I had a bunch of their hoops rookies, so I was able to salvage those cards. But the rest of it, boom, in the trash. Who knows what could have been in there? I know I had a whole bunch of first-year Steph Curry select cards, second-year Steph Curry select cards, second-year Kobe select cards, second-year Durant, second-year LeBron Prism cards. I had the second-year Prism cards of a lot of players, and boom, all gone. All gone. I could now, two things can happen. I can live with the regret of throwing it away, or I can move on. Obviously, I chose the latter. Sometimes I think about it, but other times it's like, nah, why think about it? What's done is done. What's in the past is in the past. Who knows what was in that box? I could only imagine. But yeah, that was a big mistake. Very big mistake. But then again, like base cards at the time is like, who collects base cards? The chase for the autos and the rookies and all that. So, but then when I jumped back in May of last year, I bought into DeAndre Ayton back in June, trying to catch a wave, trying to catch the next big thing before anybody else does. So I bought a bunch of raw cards, raw Prism cards, thinking that, oh yeah, I'm gonna get these cards, I'm gonna get them graded and then flip them for a good amount of money. But the cards were crap though. The cards weren't in that great of a condition. And lesson learned, yeah, raw is a risk. Buying raw online is a risk. And yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone already knows that already. But at the time I was so caught up in the allure of what could be, what could be. That didn't work out, A couple other mistakes of selling Allen Iverson rookie cards too soon, because back in June and July of last year, I had a couple of coworkers and we were talking about it. We're like, hey, Allen Iverson seems like a good buy right now. So we were buying Flair Showcase rookies for PSA 9s for like $30, Fleer Ultra rookies for less than $50, a Lucky 13 insert PSA 9 for $30. But I sold them early. If I would have kept them now, then I probably would have realized some pretty good profit. And the lesson learned there is patience. Patience is key if you want to be successful in this game. The allure of the quick flip can cause you to make irrational decisions at times. And that's what happened to me. So now I'm doing a balance of long-term holds and short-term holds. Trying to steer away from the allure of a quick flip and just letting cards appreciate over time and selling at a time when the hype is at its greatest. So, some of the strategies that I talk about in my previous videos are these types of things, because these are the lessons that I've learned while going through the ups and downs of this sports card market for the past year. And like I said in one of my videos, it's like you got to stick with the plan. What's your goal, what's your plan, what's next? Because by keeping focused on that, then you're able to make much more sound decisions as well. In a market where there's so many things, so many bells and whistles, it's easy to get sports card ADHD, because you have your focus here, then quickly, just like that, your focus goes here. When that happens, it gets too erratic because there's just so many things. If you stay focused and understand what you're trying to do and trying to actually lay out a strategy and a plan, then I don't think you can go wrong. When you sell a card too early, which was one of the mistakes I made, one thing I learned about that is once I sell a card, don't look back. It's hard. I know it's hard. You sell a card and you're wondering, okay, what's that card doing now? And then you come to find out it's 5x of what it was when you sold it. Don't kill yourself doing that, man. It's painful. And that's what I learned is to, once I sell a card, I don't look back at what the card is worth now. The only time I'll look back at a card to see what it's worth is if I wanted to buy into it again, because I feel like there's some more potential into that card. But yeah, these are certain things that I made, mistakes that I made, and mistakes that I've had to deal with. However, for every mistake that's made, there's a lesson to be learned. I go by this particular saying or this mindset of failure is okay. The only way you'll be successful is by experiencing these failures and learning the lessons from these failures. If you keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over again, then you're not learning anything. Learn from it and move on. That's how you get better. One step back, two steps forward, always moving forward. When you fall forward, fail forward, because at least that way, you know where you're going already. You have your path, you're failing, but you pick yourself back up and you continue to move forward. If you fall backwards, then you're just falling back to whatever is most comfortable and you stay within your comfort zone. If you want to be very, very successful, then you want to try to push yourself out of your comfort zone once in a while. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video has made mistakes in their lifetime. And like I said, unless you're a collector and you collect what you like, I don't think you can go wrong with that. A lot of people talk about collecting what you like, and as a collector back when I was a kid, yeah, I collected what I like, and I always enjoyed what I have. Enjoy what you have, collect what you like. You can't go wrong with that. But if you're in it for certain other reasons as well, then those lessons to be learned is not looking back at what it was. Past is the past. Learn from it and move on. So I really hope you guys found some value in this. If you did, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Sports cards, trading cards is a passion of mine, and I really do enjoy doing this. And if you have subscribed, I really do thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking with me through this journey. All my new subscribers, thank you guys for joining in on this. I really hope you guys find value in this. I really hope to provide value to you guys. This is something that I love doing. I love doing it, and you can't go wrong with doing things that you love. Whether you agree or disagree with some of my viewpoints, that's perfectly fine, because that is part of the fun. The discussion is part of the fun. I'm not going to be right 100% of the time. My plays are not going to be 100%. And that's why we go through the research to help you determine whether you want to buy in or not on those particular plays. But I try to make rational decisions and trying to help us stay 1 or 2 steps ahead of the game by looking at these particular plays and presenting them to you guys and presenting strategies from my mistakes that I've made to help us make much more sound purchasing and selling decisions. So with that being said, thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you guys in the next video later.